Hello YouTube, Lucifer here. Today I got for you a special treat. Right now, I'm about to show off my ultimate CHROMA build. This build is absolutely ridiculous and could be considered OP by many different people. Especially the two Valkyries that I had to keep rezzing in the last mission that I was just in against level 200 enemies. Now, CHROMA here is probably my favorite Warframe, and the reason is because he plays a lot like one of my favorite characters in the Borderlands series, Krieg. His ability Vex Armor is the ability that I'm really pushing towards, if you already couldn't tell with that huge amount of strength and duration. Now, the thing about this is that this power strength is a little misleading. First off, yes, I know this are not maxed, and when they are maxed, you can tell that this is going to be even better than how it's already performing, and it already performs fantastic. To get this build, you probably only need 6 Forma, and the reason why only 6, even though I still need the Forma again to fit everything, is because I accidentally formatted this twice. Don't do what I did. Just go straight for rejuvenation. Now, Prime Flow, Prime Continuity. If you don't have these yet, go ahead and substitute your flow and continuity. Okay, you will be suffering a little bit of drop off, just because it'll be a lot harder for you to keep up with your amount of efficiency going on here. But until you get them, just roll with the regular. I did it till I found them, then it's been a straight upward path ever since. So, energy conversion is a mod that is, not very much out there. What happens is that energy orbs grant 50% more power strength to your next ability cast. So you may be thinking, okay, so why is this extremely helpful? Well, for one, this is a free 50% power strength increase for whatever ability you use. Now, what are the downsides? Well, the downside is that you have to pick up an energy orb to even be able to use it. Okay, so, we're thinking here, sometimes those energy orbs can be a little hard to find. Well, that's why we use it in certain occasions. In this occasion, when we have all of this and this maxed out, getting that duration to absurd amounts, you'll be sitting at around a minute, like a full 60-second cast of Vex Armor and Elemental Warp, which means you have an entire minute to go and find another energy orb. It shouldn't take too long, right? Well, there's another use for this. As you see on here, the poster boy Excalibur is on this thing, and that is simply because this mod is freaking phenomenal with Excal. You go ahead and take your Excal, shove this mod onto him, pick up an energy orb, and then go into your Exalted Blade and figure out that your Exalted Blade now has a 50% power strength increase for the entire duration of your Exalted Blade. And the best part is, say you pick up an energy orb while you're in Exalted Blade. Well, guess what? Now, once you have to leave your Exalted Blade, you're ready for another. Or if you're running around radial blinding everything, like DE is forcing us to do, you're increasing the power strength of those radial blinds while still allowing yourself the ability to jump right back into Exalted. Because let's face it, the Exalted doesn't take a whole lot to really maintain. So once you get that first 50% increase on that power strength and you just keep that thing going, just sit there with radial blinding things every now and then, picking up more energy for more strength. It's just fantastic. Other Warframes that you can use with Valkyr, it's also fantastic. Wukong for the Primal Fury. Those are two very powerful Warframes with this mod. I'm also thinking about Mesa. Mesa probably benefits quite a bit from this mod. But mostly any Warframe that you can sit and take a second to get some energy before you go and use their stuff, like Mirage, Mesa, CHROMA, and all that going on. It's too amazing to pass up. Intensify, because we're trying to increase the strength as much as we possibly can without dipping into our duration. Blind Rage, because it's just an extreme amount of power strength, and with this build we typically don't care about efficiency, and the reason why is because, again, we're only using this once every minute or so, and we're going to have a generic passive that's going to be giving us around 4 energy per second. Steel Fiber is absolutely necessary, because this is what we are trying to make our bread and butter. Alright, Vitality is here because it's simply to give us a bit of a buffer zone if we simply run out of energy, or if there's ever a point in time where we just kind of forget to cast, which honestly I've done. Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but sometimes I'll just sit there and I'll just forget about my abilities because they've been on for so long, and just forget to cast, and then, oh hey, Bombard to the face. Ah, well then. So this is your general build here. Okay, now this works definitely for Ice Chroma. However, it also works pretty well with Shock Chroma. And with Shock Chroma, what you're doing here is you're really building on that status. And the status can be really, really fun whenever you got a blast weapon that is rapidly firing. For example, say you sit there with a Quanta with blast. It's just, why? The enemies, they just get right back up and fall right back down. It's hilarious. But typically Ice Chroma is the go-to. Now, if you're into arcanes, what I'm going to recommend is Arcane Grace on the Syandana, because it's just an amazing arcane that can be used on way too many frames. And then if you're going to put anything on the helmet, either Arcane Barrier or Arcane Guardian. If you don't know, Arcane Grace is when you get damaged, you have a small percentage to start regenerating a little bit of health. If you have Arcane Barrier, it's a small percentage of restoring your shields in an instant. And the reason why that is good is because Vex armor, like Krieg, builds up power the more that he gets damaged. So with this build, you want to feel the pain. You want to get hurt. I will sometimes sit there in a field of enemies and try to get them to attack me, and be disappointed because they're not doing enough damage for me to even get a lot of stuff sometimes. But they're doing enough so where I can actually do things. Because shields do not benefit from armor, so they can rip right through those shields. I get instant armor gratification, and I just sit there, my health goes down like maybe 2 or 3, and then it comes right back up with rejuvenation, and that is giving me power. Because his ability for Vex armor not only will increase your armor, but will increase your damage. Now, the important thing to note about these numbers here is that this is before energy conversion. This is not only before my mods are maxed, but this is before energy conversion. So when you have that extra 50% power strength and all that other stuff going on, you're going to look more towards an armor increase of like 10 times, 10 to 11 times, and a damage multiplier of like 6. Which, I mean, even on unmodded weapons, it's fantastic. But if you're sitting there with a Vacor Marilock, 6 Formud thing with a primed target, primed pistol gambit, primed heated charge, and everything going on here, you're going to be an absolute monster. You're going to one-shot pretty much everything up to level freaking 600-700. And you're going to be just reaping the effects of the whenever it goes off, giving you more health and regenerating you. The Toncore is my weapon of choice with him because I like to clear out large areas. As you can see, my Toncore is nowhere near modded enough. I need another 3 Forma to fit everything I want to put on this baby. But it, just like this, is able to clear rooms in level 2 to 300. And when you get that Vex armor going in, you're just increasing your damage by 6 times. The War is because I can afford it. I can afford it because I'm taking this damage and I'm just going in and I'm just slaughtering. Now, I put on Cleveland Whirlwind. I'm actually pretty much thinking about switching over to Tempo Royale, just to have a little bit more fun. I also was lucky enough to get the new primed pressure point mod that I'll be putting on here as soon as I get it maxed out. And that's just going to be even more fun. The body count plus Blood Rush combo with this weapon is fantastic, and I mean, do I even need to say more? It's just a fantastic weapon. Anybody who's ever had a chance to use it will tell you that. The Carrier Prime is my choice of companion. Now, why is that? Well, for one thing, we're trying to get energy. We need energy orbs. We want them badly. Carrier Prime reduces our error in finding them, because it'll just suck them up. As well as the fact that we've got this handy little mod here from the Rathum event called Meta-Ray. Meta-Ray is a fantastic mod that has pretty much changed the game for most frames, especially tank frames. You know, this thing occasionally will heal its owner, restoring 12% health over 4 seconds. I can't tell you how many times this thing has saved my ass. It just has. Like, it has saved me so many times. When I needed it, it was there. Now, this is definitely not the best way to mod your Carrier Prime. I am not a person to go for that. I am still building up my other stuff and haven't really touched much on my companions, unfortunately. The biggest thing that I wanted to max out was the Regen, the Meta-Ray, Animal Instinct, the Vacuum mod, and Guardian. The Vitality and Redirection, once those get maxed out, it'll definitely help with the survivability. The rest of the mods, yeah, whatever. I mean, that could probably help with survivability, but... oh, shoot, I had 244. Anyways, the Cynuric passive. Now, some of you don't know what that is. Some of those new to Warframe have not really heard of a focus ability, and I don't blame you. This game does not really tell you anything, period. So what you're looking at is an operator. This is what's inside of your Warframe, apparently. Well, not really inside of it, but controlling it. When you go in here, you can choose a focus tree to go into. The Cynuric focus tree is all about energy restoration. So what you're going to want in here is you're going to want energy overflow. You're going to want to try to max this as quickly as possible. From there, you're going to want to max either Systemic Override. Just make sure that while you're doing this, that you jump over to the Void Pulse Mastery, because the important thing to note is that as you increase these different skills, the amount of delayed time that you will be able to activate your focus during a mission will increase. So these passives will only ever activate after you use your focus. And your focus has to build up in a mission. So if you're doing really, really short missions, you might never even see this thing. Which is why it's important to also try to carry large energy restores if you're running an extremely power-hungry build like this. Those are the only real requirements to this build. Other than that, weapon is your weapon of choice. I typically like the Marilock and or the Furus with its augment mod for lifesteal, so that way if I'm ever in a pinch, I can just get that health back and get myself back to where I need to be. The War is my weapon of choice for melee, but you can use whatever melee you happen to want to deal with. And then of course your primary is your primary, do it with as you will. But if I were to choose between any two, it'll probably be the Heck or Vacor Heck whenever I'm the Mastery to get it, or the Tonkor, which is only a Mastery Rank 5 weapon. It's a fantastic weapon. Get it as soon as possible. So yeah, that is my build for the Ultimate CHROMA. Thanks so much for watching, guys. If you liked it, leave a like. If you want to leave a comment on the build or anything at all for discussion, go ahead. And if you don't like the video, well, oh well. Have a good one, guys.